Hi, this is Marc with my analysis for the week commencing the 1st of November. Tricky weeks at the moment. Trading purely technically is very difficult because what is driving the price, as ever, is news. But at the moment we've got this nonsense, particularly with the Fed. One day they're going to raise the rates, next day they're not. BNP Paris and Barclays have said they doubt that they may even do it in 2016. But this is the silliness of the Forex markets. And this week is particularly difficult because, of course, it's NFP week. So it's major news all week long. And we've also got speeches. Yellen in particular speaking to Congress. And last month, the Fed said one thing one day. And a few days later, Yellen at the the Congress meeting said something completely different. And it may be the case again. Their tone was slightly hawkish the other day, suggesting they may raise rates in December. I don't think anybody really believes it. And Yellen, knowing what the NFP result will be, no doubt, is going to have to tiptoe a little carefully again. And hopefully some of the senators might give us some grief about what's going on at the moment, because it's just very silly. Also, Draghi speaks this week. Now, those of you who work with Fotis, my trading partner, will know last week he gave a very good call on the euro. And he basically said if Draghi gives any hint about extending QE, and he explained why Draghi had to, because of the fact you cannot be printing money and allowing your currency to get stronger at the same time, then there was a very good trade there, as was the Aussie dollar. So what we're going to do for the week ahead? Well, you're going to have to tiptoe around the news as ever. Monday is not so bad in terms of news, but then it starts to get heavy. On Tuesday, you've got the Aussie dollar cash rate and rate statement afterwards. And as you know, the statements can be worse than the actual release. Employment change in New Zealand. Then Wednesday we start to hit the big stuff. Draghi speaks, ADP non-farm employment change, and then Yellen testifying late in the day London time. So those will be the biggies then. Thursday Draghi speaks again, and then the biggie is the British pound, and they also now will be having the official bank rate and a statement and the votes all on the same day, which is new for the UK. That could have a major effect. Carney speaks, and then you've got USD unemployment claims. Finally, on Friday, it's NFP. No Forex, please, because that is Forex at its silliest. So let's take a look at what happened last week, and let's see what we can find for the week ahead. Been a frustrating few weeks. The CAD failed by about 5 pips and went 500. The USD Singapore dollar, I was waiting for pullback down here, didn't get that, went hundreds of pips. Pound wanted to short up here, again bounced off the 200, that didn't work. Euro pound, I was hoping for a pullback all the way up here. USD yen, I was looking for a pullback down here or a flip here, and that would have lost. Swissy, Murphy's Law, the best trade of the fortnight, was a big move on the dollar Swissy from this major area of support. I don't trade it though because of the Swiss National Bank. However, it did provide perfect correlation once again for the euro. And the euro, we got the break after the news, we got the pullback, M2 short, and you had another option for those of you tried on Friday, it did it again. New Zealand dollar, M2 breakout the week before, and then it pulled back after news, and what did it do? To the pip, fingers in the fire, off it went again. So the bottom line is, if you're flexible, there are trades out there, but it ain't easy at the moment. Let's see what we can spot for the week ahead. This is the S&P 500. Now, I don't trade this, but I showed you this a few months ago. I mean, this, had you shorted at this upper level, anywhere around 2110, 2115, had 110 previous occasions on weekly charts, guys, weekly charts, and the last drop was substantial. And it's coming up to it again. It's struggling now. Last week in decision, buyers and sellers in agreement here. If it gets up here again, you will be very interested to short. On to Forex. This is the CAD, and I showed you how it missed my entry down here. This is still my preferred entry, though. I now move that up, and I would say 28.50. But if it doesn't get down there, what else can you do? Well, this is a weekly chart. One thing you can do is put a trend line on here. And I've adjusted the fib, so anywhere around 129.50, 60 for a potential long, but my preferred area is still down here. I'm only interested to long this pair. USD Singapore dollar. Again, I would be interested if it pulls back anywhere around 1.3700. However, if we were to break and close above this line on a daily candle only, I would be interested for an M2. So a breakout and a pullback to 1.40 and then pull back to 1.4050. So break, close, I would be interested to long, only interested to long this pair. Pound USD, we are getting nearer the point of this triangle. At the moment, we're just simply bouncing off this upper area. So anywhere around 155.100, I am interested to short this pair for multiple reasons. You've got all these confluence of EMAs, fibs, and trend lines. If it breaks, and I would only take this on a break of a daily candle close above 155.55, shall we say, but unless or until it does, I'm interested to short this pair. And if we look on a daily, you can see here, this is that upper area I was just showing you. But what's it been doing the last few weeks, guys? It's been bouncing off this 200 EMA. So if you're going to trade it intraday, be watching anywhere around 154.70. If you're trading from longer time frames, then anywhere around 155.100 for a short. And as I said, if it breaks and closes above 55.50, I would look for a breakout, pullback, and an M2 long. At the moment, my bias is short. Euro pound, and I've had these lines in place for months and months and months. And if you remember, Judith and Robbie had a breakout here, shorted and made 500 pips. Then we put this area in for resistance. I've just extended it across a little. It did it again. Now, I didn't take it from here. I just didn't like it because it was not the greatest risk-reward ratio. But what's it done? It's now broken and closed on a weekly below this major area of support and resistance. Again, we've had on here for months and months. So if it pulls back up anywhere around 0.7250, I would be interested to short this pair. The other option is if it pulls back to 71.50, then be watching it intraday for a potential pullback short entry there as well. Dollar yen. This failed, don't like it, too messy, only want to long. So the best entry here down here would be anywhere around 119, 118, 80, 119. I would like to long the USD. Now, I would need 80, 90 pip stop here, 100 pip stop, which would freak you out. Still risk the same amount of money, but potential 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio. And if it gets back up to the original point, 1 to 6. And when you're trading these longer time frames, your priority is getting the risk reward right. 1 to 2.5, 1 to 6. Yeah, I'd take the trade. Dollar Swissy. If it pulls back down here, those of you who trade this pair, then be interested to long, because again, you've got multiple reasons. The fib will be 50%. You've got the trend line, you've got the EMAs rolling up, but I will be more inclined to use this to short the Euro USD. Now, the initial point, if you're not already in, is anywhere around 1.1070. And the stop, I would go just above this recent support and resistance. And let's move that across. So it's a decent risk reward. If it fails, I'm going to take it again, and I will take it again here at 1.170. And if that fails, I will take it again, because the point of this is that the risk reward ratio I've just mentioned to you here, I would be risking 30 odd pips for a gain of 160. So it's 1 to 5 risk reward ratio. Here, I'd have to decide where I'm going to put my stop. But again, the potential reward is 300 pips. The potential reward from here is 500 pips, 450 pips. I only want to short for fundamental reasons. So technically, you've then just got to decide where to get in. What you have to be wary this week is Draghi. Draghi could send this on a wild ride. But if Draghi sends this on a wild ride and it races up, then you start looking, well, where's it going to run out of steam? The first area would be here. And let's face it, from its current position, it's the 200 odd pip move. This would be a big area, 113.50, because if it gets up here after a major bit of news, if it's going to run out of steam, that will be the place. Final line in the sand would be 115. And 115, the ECB, anywhere around here, 114.80, 115 plus is where the ECB have been pushing it back down again, and fundamentally they'll do it again. You can't keep printing billions and billions per month and then see your currency strengthen, so they will take steps to weaken it. New Zealand dollar broke above support, resistance becomes support. Multiple reasons. You've got here your EMAs, you've got that. You'll see this on a lot of the pairs as well. The Bollinger Bands are closing up, which is usually an indication price is going to go sideways, and therefore it gives me a bit more credibility for why to take here. But I am interested to long at 0.6625. If it does a race up, then I would be interested to short back down anywhere around 69.50. Pound New Zealand dollar, technically very interesting area to short here. However, it's a horrible spread on this pair, and I am interested. I'm going to watch it, but I wouldn't place a forward order. But technically, there's a lot going on here and lots of reasons why you will be interested to short. So keep it on your radar. USD Singapore dollar, I showed you what to do on a weekly. On a daily, you've got this scenario here. So 1.4050 area is previous support and resistance. The Bollinger Bands are closing. It's mixed signals around here, guys, but it is a major area of previous resistance. So the first call will be to short here, and then if it broke and close above 1.4070, then you'd start thinking about a long. Final one is the Aussie dollar. Now, you've got to be careful at the market open with the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar, because China has had more negative news on Sunday, and therefore it could impact the commodity pairs straight away. But look how the Bollinger Band here, price touched it and has moved away. I'm only interested to short this pair at the moment. Where would I want to get in? Well, first place to be watching is 7200. Best place for me is 7240. So a pull back up here with a view to a short, and I will be interested to take that as well. Okay, not easy. Must watch the calendar this week, guys, but let's see how we get on. Catch you later.